Now let's go ahead and get started by creating a few content. By creating content, we'll be able to understand how Cascade works, and in the event we're asked to create content for our department, we would know the steps necessary. We're going to start off by creating a folder to store your work throughout this course. Whenever creating content, there's one button you need to focus on. At the very top on the left, you'll notice that there's a red circle with a plus on the center, and it says Add Content. This is the primary button you'll be using whenever you're creating a page or a folder or other types of assets. To get started, we're going to create a folder. So go ahead and click on the Add Content button, and you will see a new pop-up show up. This is where you select your department's folder. If you notice, for this training module, the folder is titled Training. But for your department, it will be titled according to your department's name. But if you belong to more than one department, it will be listed here as well. For this example, go ahead and click on Training, and you will get a new pop-up. There are a few items here, but we're only going to be focusing on creating a folder for now. So go ahead and click on Create a Folder, and then you will get a new pop-up window. There are a few things on this pop-up window that we need to take note of. The first thing is the placement folder. This is going to be the location of where you're going to put this particular asset. Then there's display name, which is going to be the title, or rather the name of your folder or page. And then you will see there's the option of include in a sidebar navigation, and then the start date and end date. But let's dive into placement folder and see what options are available to us in the event that this was not the folder we wanted our asset to be saved in. Go ahead and click on Cascade Training, or click on the blue highlight right below placement folder, and you will get this pop-up window here. There are going to be three different tabs: Recent, Start, and Browse. Recent would be any item or folder that you've been working on recently. But for now, let's focus on Browse. So let's pretend that this is not the folder we wanted to select. Or rather, this was not the folder where we wanted to save our asset. So if you notice here on Browse, there's an asset subfolder, and it has a few items on it. It has Valdosta.edu, Common Links, Department Modules, Images, and Cascade Training. If we wanted to browse the contents of Cascade Training, let's say there was a subfolder within this folder where we wanted to save this item, we would click on that arrow on the right to browse the contents of that folder. In this new sub window, we'll notice that we have three different other folders called Resources, Documents, and Images. But now let's say that we wanted to go to the parent folder. By learning this particular step, you will know how to navigate within Cascade whenever you're browsing for items or adding items. If you notice at the very top, there are a few links. If right here, there's one that says valdosta.edu/Cascade Training. Basically what this means is that you're currently within a folder called Cascade-Training, and this folder is located under another folder called valdosta.edu. Valdosta.edu is the parent folder. So let's go ahead and click on valdosta.edu to go to the parent folder, because we're going to go back and click on Cascade Training. So when you click on it, you're back into the parent directory. For now, we're going to select the radio button right beside Cascade-Training. But since it's already selected, we don't have to click on the choose option. Normally you would click on the choose option, but let's go ahead and click on cancel for now. Now let's focus on display name. So one thing to note about display name and folders is that it can only be in lowercase and there can be no spaces. If you want to designate a space, you can simply use an underscore or a dash. Make sure to take a note of this because there's a difference between a display name when using folders and pages. For display name, go ahead and type in your name. Now let's look at the other option, include in sidebar navigation. For now, go ahead and select no. We're going to go over what this option does a little bit later in the class. And for start date, simply select today's date. Now the start date can be any day that you choose, but normally we try to select the day that you created the page. Now that we have all the information we need, let's go ahead and click on the submit button at the very top to create this folder. You might get a new pop-up where it says misspelling, or rather it might try to show items that are misspelled. But for now, go ahead and ignore anything that shows up and click on the check mark on the top right. And now your folder has been created. So be sure to follow these steps whenever you need to create a folder.